Hey guys, it's your girl Ashley, and I know it's been a really long time since I actually made a video on this channel. But today's video is going to be an extremely sad one, and I'm not sugarcoating it in any way. And I understand if you need to click off this video. It's about my dog passing away, and I'm also getting over a cold. Of course, that happened last week, and I haven't had the motivation to like film this video. So, I've just been trying to be more raw and more real with you guys. Obviously, that's just, you have these two personas of yourself. Like you actually have the real you, which is off camera, and the fake person that you put when you want to be happy and fake life on YouTube. And like that's not what I've been trying to do, especially if you follow my Instagram. I've just been trying to be the real me and whatever. Like I cuss and I smoke and whatever. Like it's life, man. And then you shouldn't try to hide those things behind the camera or whatever. It doesn't matter because I'm like everybody does it, or you know somebody that does it. And I don't know why I'm just ranting right now, but I feel like that should be addressed. That you shouldn't try to hide the real you when you sit in front of this camera or any camera. Um, my thoughts have not been together these past 2 weeks. My puppy, she passed on August 2nd. I call her a puppy. She was a dog, but also puppy and dog is kind of degrading when you have such a strong bond with this being, this thing of energy. Like we're all beings of energy, and I don't think we should be classified in different ranks and whatever, because some people do view dogs as lower creatures of this earth, and I think that's totally wrong. Everyone has their rights and they should have rights and whatever. But my dog, she was 12 years old, and the thing that just hurts the most is that she has seen half of my life. I'm 22 years old. I remember the day 12 years ago when my dad brought this dog. My dad got this dog off of a farm north of where I lived, and he brought her to my fifth grade class. Like I've known this dog since I was in the fifth grade, and I've been graduated from high school for like 4 or 5 years now. So she's literally seen every single milestone. She's seen me graduate elementary, middle school, high school. She's seen me do my yoga, dance team, my Reiki certs, my trainings. She's been through my whole life. She's When everybody goes, all my friends are gone, all my family is out of my room, she's seen, me at my lowest and at my highest. And knowing that I was always able to go to her for comfort and just for her positive energy. And I want you guys to know that about dogs. They always, want to give their positive energy to their owners. Like we shouldn't say that we own things either. And yoga, real quick, we practice aparigraha, which is practicing non-attachments in English. And you shouldn't try to attach yourself to people, places, things, because eventually those things do go. But it's just hard when you have literally been with your family for 12 years, And I'm not trying to cry or be emotional, but it is hard, guys. And nobody, like, honestly, just fuck the people that say I understand, because they don't understand. They don't understand unless they literally have lived the same linear path that you have, had in your life, the same events. So, when people are like, oh, I've had a dog and it passed, okay, whatever. But it's just like, literally, this was my dog that I had to take care of. I was taking care of this dog when I was 10 years old. There's been so many multiple occasions when my mom's just like, I'm just gonna get rid of the dog. And so it was already hard in my childhood, her trying to get rid of this dog, and her saying that, basically what I said earlier, how people think dogs are certain ranks or lower than us when everything is equal on this earth. And so my vow that I made to myself and to my puppy Mouse was that I would give her the best life that I freaking could. I, took her on walks, and I just wanted to take her everywhere so she could see this world. And I also just, I wanted her to have the freedom. When she was growing up, my mother made her stay in our cold basement, and it broke my heart every single night I had to leave her in there and go upstairs to, you know, go to sleep or whatever, or when we were having company over, just pretend she didn't exist. And it's just like, that's not okay. And I knew that at a young age. And so when I finally got old enough, and eventually, guys, she did get to be upstairs and in the living room, eventually in my room and all that. But it's just, I don't know if it's black families or whatever, but like how people are like, don't let the dog on the couch. I'm like, why does it freaking matter? It's fur, it's hair. You shed hair. You do you realize that you shed hair every day? If that's an issue about having hair on the couch or wherever people don't like dogs to be. And I'm just like, I just want her to experience not just a dog life, but a human life, being able to have that freedom to go wherever. And so when we moved out, me and Carrie, she was able to go on the bed, the couch, she could sunbathe, because that's what she loved to do. She would sunbathe at the front door of my parents' house. So we opened the big door, and then there was like a screen, or there'd be like a glass door, depending on what year it was or what the season, and she would sunbathe. And so you guys have seen in like our vlogs and whatever, she's had a little shelf here to sunbathe and just, be free and, have no restrictions on this planet. And dogs are so freaking intelligent. So if you have a dog or some kind of animal, they are teaching you something. And, I went through all of this yoga training and learned about meditation and how to slow down and whatever. But literally, you can talk to a human all day long, but like when you look at a dog and you study a dog, they are constantly teaching you peace, just to be happy in the moment that you're in, together, or just living, just to be peaceful and to slow down and just to live life every day with being happy. And with being a human, your mind is running on a million all the time. And death, I'm sure, crosses everyone's mind at least once a day, maybe even twice. It depends. But dogs, they don't know when they're going to pass. Any animal, they don't know when they're going to pass. They just live every single day as joyful as they can. And I think that was something very special that my dog taught me. I guess if you guys want to know, this is the extremely sad part. So I had a natural doggy. She, my dad got her off of a farm and she had the basic shots. But I'm just so protective. I don't trust anybody, going and touching the people that I care about and using big farm medications and stuff. And you don't even know the type of pharmaceutical language. So like, when you're reading the back of a medicine jar, you don't know what you're ingesting. You don't know what they're going to put into you. And so I was very apprehensive about that. And so I literally took care of this dog, like I said, since she was 10 years old. Since I was 10 years old. I think she was like 2 or 3 weeks old, all the way up until she was 12 years old, a natural dog, no medications or anything like that. She was the picture of health, like the perfect dog, guys. She was a rat terrier, if you didn't know, if you were curious. And I just wanted to take care of her the best I could, the best that I knew how. And so she was never spayed. And so she had her period like any other female on this planet does. They have their period. The thing they don't tell you about why you need to spade your dog is the first thing they say is, well, so they don't have babies. And that's usually the only thing they'll tell you. Eventually, as the dog gets older, they don't tell you this, but the risk of every time they have their period for a bacterial infection. And so that's what ended up happening. She got, her uterus got infected. And I just assumed that she was an older dog, so I assumed that like maybe she's just getting a little chunkier because she sunbathed a lot, and she went on walks, but she really liked to sleep a lot more, so she got a little bit of a belly. But her belly was filling with fluids from the bacterial infection, and her period got really intense, and then it eventually just stopped. But she got really weak when we would walk her to go to the bathroom. She couldn't go up and down the stairs, and so we were carrying her up and down the stairs. And I just thought, like when dogs have their periods, I just thought people were lazy. People didn't want to clean up after a dog. I'm like, this is something natural, that happens to dogs. But eventually, like, she wasn't eating, so we took her to the vet, and they said it was pyometria or something like that bacterial infection. And so it was going to cost so much money to try to fix her, and she was in so much pain already where, she was a jumpy dog, and she didn't even want to jump anymore. And the surgery involved cutting her stomach all the way up and I guess draining these fluids. But just think about this, the state that she was in, her age, and then the recovery process. And that's all that was weighing on my shoulders, is that, okay, you cut her stomach, and then, but like, what if she doesn't survive? And I'm still, just let me backtrack really quick. The surgery was extremely expensive. If you didn't know about vets and just hospital bills in general, they're always expensive. They're always through the roof, and they throw in so many other things just to make it rack up. Most of the stuff is usually unnecessary that they could just include, but they don't. They don't tell you about that when you're in a hospital. And so I'm like, this is really expensive. I'm thinking to myself. So the lady, like, this is the day of, we're at the vet, and she comes back, and she has some brochures, and she's just basically, these are credit cards to put your dog or your pet on layaway so you can make payments to afford this surgery. You're putting your dog's life on layaway in the hands of man, not the hands of God, the hands of a man who does this every day and probably obviously doesn't have the same emotional connection that you have with your pets. You're putting your dog on layaway, and let's say their finger slips. So in my head, I'm thinking, am I responsible to still pay this vet bill even if my pet dies, and to get this credit card that you guys wanted me to buy? That's how messed up this system is, this system on earth, guys. I don't want to get into that, but that was just like, wow, y'all really do that. You don't just go out and help to save people. There are really nurses and veterinarians, everybody that's a caretaker on this earth. I want you guys to know, I knew this a while back, but there are literally doctors and nurses out there just doing it for the money. And so they really don't care if the person or animal makes it or not. And they won't do stuff for free. And it's just like, I'm a yoga teacher, and I own my own business. I do stuff for free all the time. If somebody wants to do a free class, or they want to pay me but they don't have the money to do it, I'll give you a free class. I'm not like that. With yoga, it really changes your mindset and how you view things. You want to give more, and that's just what helps you be a more loving and caring human being all over. Not just for the people that are in your immediate family or whatever that matter, or your friends, but like people across the street, just doing favors and that, stuff like that. And like, clearly the nurse, the doctor, they saw the connection that I had, but I'm just saying, couldn't have lowered the price, couldn't have done anything like that to actually, show that they cared. And so I had to put my dog down, and it's just so fucking hard to say that, because I've been with this dog for 12 years. 12 years of her just imagine the connection. I don't want to keep backtracking, guys, but that was hard. That was so fucking hard to do that on that day. And I already said all the details and whatever, but actually last week they gave, because it happened on August 2nd, last week I got something in the mail. This was the first and last time that my dog has gone to a clinic or a veterinary, whatever. And so she never had the people there first and last time meeting this dog, never had a real connection or friendship or a bond with my pet. They have the nerve to send me a card in the mail, and it's just, oh, you're in my prayers, we love you, Mouse, blah, blah, blah. Okay, like, I just want you to see this from my, I'm losing my voice now, my point of view. I went there one time. How can you pretend we love you, Mouse? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You met the dog one time for probably two hours, 3 hours we were there at the vet. I just think it's an insult when people are just, oh, miss you, you're in my prayers, blah, blah, blah. You weren't here for the ride, man. You weren't here for that emotional bond, that connection. And just like I said, fuck the people that are just like, oh, I understand what you're going through. Whenever somebody loses somebody or there's death involved, I just say, yeah, I'm sorry. Or I don't say I'm sorry. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just agreeing with what the person is feeling at that moment. All I can do is be there for them because I'll never understand. And I just want you guys to know. You can't understand everything. You can relate to an extent, but you'll never fully understand what people are going through, you know? And so now it's been 2 weeks and I'm just trying to figure out my life past that. I lived for my dog. I made my schedule around my dog. I taught for a few hours and I would come home so I could spend the whole day with her because that's so important. Like, and I'm so blessed to be able to fix my schedule and put it to my needs like that. And it just breaks my heart when people have to leave their animals to go to work because places, establishments don't allow pets. And it's just, think about your animal. It sits at home all day long. They're just bored and they're waiting to have that interaction with you. So I just everything I did was centered around her. I wouldn't stay out that long, and I never really was a party person, but like I'd go out to lunch and I'd come right home to give her a walk or a bath or just, to play with her, you know? And so, mommy loves you, Mouse. I love you so much and I miss you, and I just can't wait to see you and to be with you eventually. And I'm going to try to live my life. And it's hard, but I'm going to try to live my life and, keep you in my memory. And yeah, but this video is getting kind of long, and I appreciate whoever watched this video to like and subscribe to this channel as I slowly progress with my life back into yoga, back into giving you guys, free-form content and stuff like that, because I really want to get into it. It's just been really hard to just society wants you just to snap out of it. Okay, it happened. Now, continue with your life. And that's, it's hard because I have clients and I have this business and I can't just put that on hold forever. I need time to grieve. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your support and the messages that you guys have sent me on, Instagram and wherever these platforms are. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.